Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer workshop. My name is Pat Baer and I'm here to build a model kit and talk with you. And we will get started in a few moments, but first and foremost I want to say hello to everyone watching. I want to throw the Bear Cave emotes in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you have access to the Bear Cave emote at the $5 level. I also have the Lego emote for those in tier 2 and 3. I'm going to throw that in there. So if you're currently a subscriber, you can throw that in the chat, and then people will know that you're here. We're going to get going with the builds in a little bit, but I do want to just, talk to y'all for a little bit, see if people want to join in. Major PD is now following. Thank you very much, Major PD. Appreciate the follow. I do want to say, Durman says, my gifted sub ran out, but I became a Patreon, so that's something. Durman, it is something. Thank you very much. It is the first of the month. It's a great time to join my Patreon, which I'll mention about an hour in. Lashbrook is here. Hello, Lashbrook. Happy to have you. Throwing that Bear Cave emote in there. Durman, you've been a great supporter, so I appreciate that, and don't worry about that. Sometimes you can't subscribe, and I get that. Humbow's here. Folks, my voice isn't really back yet, so I apologize for that. But I also haven't done a build stream since Tuesday because the Airbnb internet was not up to snuff. Could not stream on Tuesday. So I apologize for my voice being what it is. It will be better by Thursday. Weekmint is here. Hi, Weekmint. Happy to have you here. But yeah, my hope is by Thursday, because I will attempt to not really use my voice. It will be back in business. Been drinking tea, doing the whole thing. Also, I'll say it probably several times because as people come in, the comments will come back. Yeah, I have gaff tape on my fingers. I really enjoyed the Rumble this year. Thank you very much, Bald Ridge. I enjoyed the Rumble this year very much myself. Yeah, so I have gaff tape on my fingers. About 4 minutes ago, I cut myself. I'm fine, but it's surface level skin, but it doesn't look good. And hello, Harold. My Band-Aids are in the bathroom, and my roommate is in the bathroom, so my Band-Aids are not accessible. And so I have gaff tape on my hands, and we're just going to deal with that. Oh, an anonymous gifter gave Durman a tier 1 sub. Hey, subscriber, let's throw the Bear Cave emote in there. Thank very much to the anonymous person who just gave Durman a subscription. That's fucking rad. Thank you so much for that. So we will get building. We're going to work on the Sandrock. I've got the booklet right here. This is the 2011 re-release of this kit, which is great. It says Endless Waltz on it because at a certain point, they just started naming every fucking thing from Gun to Wing Endless Waltz, even though this is the original body of the kit. The Vinny approached the bandages. Indeed, Lord Crashington. Here's the thing. If you're in tech, you have gaff tape. That's why they call them gaffers. Gaff tape is there. It does the job. It doesn't really work great on skin, but it does work very great on itself. So you just wrap it around, boom. Look, it's not bad. I'm not going to bleed. But we are going to have an overhead shot of my hands moving, and it doesn't look great. It just doesn't look great. So this is better than that. So thank you. And that's weird, I know, to say thank you, but sorry. It's odd. But yeah, that's awesome. An anonymous benefactor. I'm also going to try to drink all of this water throughout the course of this 2 hours. Hey, besides Durman, if you renewed your sub, please hit that notification so it pops up and we can all throw the Bear Cave emote in there because it's rad. Because a few of you resubscribed sometime today, maybe now, maybe earlier today, I don't know. But the number is higher, and I love it when the number goes up. I duct taped some paper towel over a cut on my thigh so I wouldn't have to show my mom when I was in middle school. Bald Ridge, it's real good. Duct tape, not great on your skin. I'll say that. Honestly not. No, it was not. It's not great on your skin. Gaff tape. When I take this tape off, there'll be some residue. But it'll be like the residue from a Band-Aid, basically. And also, you have to make sure, with gaff tape, that you're not doing it too tight because you could lose circulation. Legitimately. I need stitches. Okay, so, Bald Ridge. Hi, Pat. I just got home, says Mr. Bob. Mr. Bob, glad you're back home from your PAX trip. I got home very late last night because I left pretty late last night. My 9:30 p.m. bus or train bus. Thank God I didn't take a bus. I took a train. It got there. It did its job. But let's get building. Um, well, Baldridge, I'm sorry that you need stitches and that you were hiding from your parents. Also, I'm sorry that you put duct tape on your skin because that's bad. Hand sanitizer will resolve that residue. Of course, yes, very much so, Harold. That's a good tip. But yeah, I just wanted so if people were like, hey, why do you have gaff tape on your hands? It's not serious. I literally was going to put band aids on, and then my roommate took a shower, and I respect his need to shower or his want to shower. But also, I didn't want to start the stream late because I want to build a model kit. I've been waiting. I've been waiting to do this kit. So let's do it. That was years ago, but the tips are nice. Indeed. A month ago, I cut my thumb real bad, but it was mostly better now. Had it together mostly with super glue. Pretty much better now. Well, Dirtman, I'm glad that, but also like, hey, y'all. I say this to you with honesty and truth and realness and love. If you hurt yourself, get that shit taken care of, please. Um, if you gotta fucking do a GoFundMe for your medical care, I'll retweet it. I'll donate. I'll say that. I should start with that first part. Go to the fucking doctor if you hurt yourself. Um, get that shit fixed. If you have to do a GoFundMe, I will donate to it and I will retweet it. And I will ask my more famous and successful friends of mine to also retweet. That is my promise to you. But yeah. Well, look, I don't like seeing people hurt. I don't want people to get hurt. And if you are, look, I care about a lot of fucking people in this world. People I've never met before. I do care about them. But I also care about people who hang out here, who are in the Baer Cave by being in the chat room, that watch my stuff and get enjoyment out of it, that allow me to do creative, cool things that I want to do. I very much appreciate you, and I want you to be okay. So, if I had the money to pay people's medical expenses, I would. I can't do that, though. I need a job. Also, hey, also, if you're hiring, I mean, I need a job. I do actually need a job. I had something that looked like it was going to pan out. It did not. And now I am still unemployed and would like to not be. But yeah, there's that. Harbortown Hobbies is lurking. Feel free to lurk. Hey, also, hey, there's a lot of people here on a Monday. That doesn't actually happen too often for me. Monday is usually the light stream. So everyone that's here, hello and welcome. Welcome to the Bill Bear Workshop. Working on the Gundam Sandrock from Gundam Wing. Fun fact, it's the only Gundam I haven't built on this stream from Gundam Wing. We have built all 4 or 5, if you count the Wing Zero and the Wing is different. And we've built the Epion, which I do consider a Gundam. We also built the Tall Geese 2 and the Tall Geese 3. So this is literally the only, which aren't Gundams, but are cool mobile suits. You know, yes, we have not built the Leo or the Leo. But we've built just about everything else. And I'm kind of stalling because I can't... Oh, I was doing it upside down. That'll explain why I couldn't get this piece to connect. Is because I was doing it wrong. That's a good indication of why something wasn't working. Is just you're doing it wrong. This is the enclosure for the cockpit. Epion pen. Yes. Indeed, Durman. And I will fight for a society where we don't need goddamn... Yes. I totally agree, Space Deck. Hello and welcome. Asmo, I agree with you. I think the CEO of GoFundMe was saying, you know, like has a quote that they're really bummed out that so much of GoFundMe is for people's medical expenses, that is a bummer for them, and that is a bummer. Doesn't matter that it, you know, keeps them in business. It's a shitty thing. We need to start a writing campaign for more wing master grades. That transforming helicopter one would be good. Durman, I hope for a change you do well. Harbortown Hobbies, I feel you on needing a job. I'm waiting to hear back from pretty hype opportunity. Well, I'm positive for you, Harbortown Hobbies. So Sandrock says this is his favorite wingsuit. Well, I'm not going to disparage the Sandrock. It is my least favorite kit in Gundam. But it's got cool blades. And also, there is something very funny to me, funny in a good way, funny, silly, and funny, interesting to me, that this Gundam has an Uzi. It's in the same way that it's very funny to me that the Heavy Arms has just like a knife blade. Like a knife. It's just kind of like a wrist blade, I should say. That's also very funny to me. But yeah, this kid's like, I got cool swords and an Uzi. I can understand that, Mr. Bob. Look, I know that my enjoyment of Gundam Wing comes from the fact that I was a teen. I was basically the same age as the kids in the show. And while I was not myself an edgelord, I very much enjoy and appreciate the dumbness and wonderfulness of Duo Maxwell. That's why the Death Scythe is tied to Duo in my mind, is why I love that kit so much. Because I love Duo Maxwell so much. Wrist blades. Yes, Durman. The Heavy Arms has a blade on his arm that pops in, and then he's got like a Bowie knife on his arm. It's silly in a way that I enjoy. And then he also has a gun arm, which is also great. Least favorite suit or kit, they're different things. Well, you're right, Harbor. I'm going to say Harbor. Harbor's easy for me to say. Dumb stuff is best stuff. Indeed. So, I think this kit puts together cool. But I do think that the suit is too close to the Gundam. I think that it's too close to the wing and start a look. And I also think that the same thing about, like several Gundams out there in various series, that I think that there's, the Death Scythe fucking feels like a thing. The Heavy Arms feels like its own thing. Like, those are, to me, they feel like these are our creations. Whereas the Sandrock just feels like Desert Wing. We'll just make it a Desert Wing, and it won't transform. I should know, because the only Gundam I own is a Heavy Arms custom. Hell yeah. Well, the custom from Endless Waltz is 4 guns on the hands. It's many, many guns, and it's blue instead of red, which I don't like. Or orange, I should say. I love the red and orange of the Heavy Arms. I don't necessarily love the blue of the Heavy Arms custom from Endless Waltz. Everyone's got their own opinions, and they're entitled to their own opinions. Those are just my opinions. I do like the coloring of the Heavy Arms. I think the different grays, like this gray, I think is very nice. So I'm not here to say that I don't love it. I just don't love it as much as some of the other ones. G Gundam is the best dumb stuff, says Harbor. And Harbor, I agree with you. G Gundam. I was explaining G Gundam to Mr. Dan Reichert at 1 PAX East, which I have come back from as of last night. Because I think G Gundam is the Gundam show that Dan should watch. Well, that's not fair. Gurren Lagann is the Gundam show that Dan should watch because it's a show about cool dudes and sunglasses and capes without shirts. So that's actually the show that Dan should watch. The Gundam that he should watch is that. But the actual Gundam show that he should watch is G Gundam, despite its many racist stereotypes. Its many unconscionable racial stereotypes. But the very idea of a horse that pilots a Gundam should be enough for Dan Reichert. Harold is now hosting. Thank you, Harold, for the host. Really appreciate it. I just watched all of Gundam Build Divers, and I'm really bummed there isn't a kind of that Tequila Gundam. Yes, I agree with you. But Both are very good starting points for him. Yeah, I would agree. I mean, that's, why I recommended it. Because I did think that those would be cool things for Dan to kind of get into if he was going to get into, or at least attempt to get into, mech shows. But like, because I think he would just be really annoyed with Wing. I think the melodrama stuff, Pretty Boy stuff, would just just not be in the thing that he'd be into. And Gurren Lagann doesn't take long to get cool, which is why I think he would be into it. And G Gundam doesn't take long to get cool. And also, Domon rules. Like, there's a lot of shit that's very wrong with G Gundam, and Domon is not one of them. Domon is fucking awesome. Goddamn King of Hearts. Alright, I'm trying to get this piece on here. I have run into issues with this in the past. It's usually because things are not connecting properly and there's something has gone wrong somewhere else. And these are usually where I have an issue, and will require me at some point probably to take this all apart and reattach it all. But we'll try to just get it together for right now. Harold did give some bits, and I forgot to mention that. Thank you very much, Harold. Hey, bits are appreciated. I'm not a fan of divers. Build Fighters and Try is pretty good, says Harbor. Yeah, I've watched a little bit of Build Fighters, and I do like it. I like the concept of it. It does remind me a lot, and I think I've said this on the streams. It does remind me a bunch of Mega Man or Rockman EXE, which is a show that I very much enjoyed because I think the concept is just cute and fun. Of like, yeah. So I do have an appreciation for the concept. All right, so I'm going to take apart some of this here and see if I can get, just by even using my snipper clips, this kind of connect a little better, because it seems like I don't have a good tight connection here, and it's causing me problems. All right, that should be better. All right, now let's try to connect them together. 8th MS Team is good too. Oh, I think it's very good. I totally agree with you. It's also very self-contained, which is important for a legacy show. Hey, Pat, have you built any mono-eye suits? I'm a sucker for those Xeon suits. I have. We have done some mono eyes. They are very fun. I tend to focus on Gundams rather than other mobile suits generally because the Gundams are readily available, and I think they just look rad. So I am often building those instead of building some of the many your Zaku's and that like. But I do like a mono-eyed thing now and again. Gundam references in early online games. Yes, it does have some nostalgia. Yeah, I mean also my wish list, which I have on Amazon, and I'll mention in the middle. Those are the ones that usually get picked are like the main Gundams, and they're also more likely to be master grades, is what I've found. Not always, but often. Okay, so I'm having some trouble with this, and I apologize, but we'll get through it. And as I always say, my screw-ups are hopefully helpful for just as helpful as my victories. But often it's just that I am rushing to finish something, and that's why it's not working. And then I look at it and go, oh, I was doing that wrong. And then it just works fine. That's not always the case, but that is often the case with me. Is I just make an assumption about how a piece is supposed to go together, and it turns out I was just fucking wrong, and that's not how that goes together. And then it works fine. Alright, so why are you like this? You should be like that. I saw an episode of G Gundam, I think something about a horse mech. Yes, Bald. There is indeed, because the whole idea is that you are piloting with a full body suit that connects you to your Gundam. So Master Asia rides a horse, and that horse has its own Pegasus Gundam, or Unicorn Gundam. Unicorn. Or mobile suit. I don't know. but it's weird, and I do enjoy that very much. Uh, I think the only Gundam I've seen was Gundam Seed on Toonami, and I did not like it at all. And I haven't tried out other Gundams since then. Not sure if there's a best introductory series for Gundam. Um, yeah, no, people do not like Gundam Seed at all. You might like Gundam Builders because it is a kid show, and not to say that you like kid shows, uh, good or bad, but you might be interested because it is an introductory to the world through the guise of Gundam is an anime within that anime. Uh, Seed I just think people wanted more from Seed, and it just wasn't what they wanted, and I don't know what exactly they wanted, but it wasn't that show. Um, Overall, I don't hate it. I'm not one of the people that hates that show. What am I fucking? But I do know plenty of people that really dislike it. All right, we might move on here, and I will come back and work on this on my own time before Thursday, because I am seemingly making some sort of poor choices with the chess piece here, because it is not coming together in a way that makes a lot of sense, and I don't want to stress these pieces. So we might just come back to I might just come back to it off screen. I might just go and take this all apart and reassemble all these pieces in order, because yeah, this is not coming together right. So yeah, we're gonna move on to the all right, yeah, we will do the pieces that go on the top of this, and then we will move on to the head, and then I will come back on my own time and figure out why, like, this isn't right. You can see that. You can't see that. There's some stuff not right about this. So, but I will fix that. Brown Lantern. PAX was great. I'm sorry you had fear of missing out. I know that you were originally intending to go, but unfortunately you couldn't. So I'm sorry. I don't mention it at the 9 o'clock hour, or the 10 o'clock hour. Sorry, about half an hour from now, when I do my plugs for things, I will mention that the Improvised Postmortem is up on my YouTube channel, so people can watch that there. Also, Brown Lantern, please check your whispers. I sent you a whisper because on Tuesday of last week, which is the last stream of the month, you won some Lego sets. A subscriber wins kits that I've built at the last stream of every month, and that was you, Brown Lantern. So please check your whispers. And I knew that you had stuff going on, so I didn't want to push it. But please reply to that, and we will make some stuff happen there this week. Of course, thank you for being a subscriber. Yeah, people ask, hey, what do you do with all those kits? And one, I store a bunch of them, and two, eventually I slowly give them away. And then hopefully at some point I will not have so many kits. Some of them go on display because they're rad and I want them, and some go out to people, which is great. And the Improvised Postmortem, I had a great time doing it. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate that. I had a blast doing that show. I always love it. And as I said, it's on my YouTube. I'll put a link in the show description for this YouTube version, and also I will tell you in the chat how to watch it as well. But yeah, it's up on my YouTube, and I think it turned out great. Everybody did a real good job, so I was happy with that. But yeah, Brown Lantern, reply at your leisure. I knew you had some stuff going on over the weekend, obviously, so I didn't want to be like, hey, check your messages. All right. This kit has a lot of Japanese instructions that I cannot read, so I am just going to do my fucking best and make it work. So this will go on here like this, which is cool, but as I said, I am going to take apart all of the chest and reassemble it on my own time, so that on Thursday it looks great. It does not look like it looks now, which is not great. It looks like I fucked it up. Now, the nice thing is, I didn't fuck it up. I just didn't assemble it properly. Like, things aren't connected right. And I know where that happens because this is not the first time that this has happened. So I can go in and I can disassemble all of it, shave down, smooth down some rough edges, and reassemble it, and it will come together and look fine, and you won't notice, you won't ever see that at one time it looked like I hadn't assembled it properly, which is nice. But yeah, right now it looks like I've kind of screwed up, because I have. Hey, 8-hour drive gets harder when you get older. Mr. Bob, that remains very true. That has always been a truth, that as you get older, those things you could just do on a whim suddenly become harder. The equivalent for me is that I was on a regional train, which means that New York was not the last stop on the train for Boston I took. And I fell asleep, and I almost kept going from fucking New York. They stopped at New York for a while, because a lot of people get off there. And I had definitely fallen asleep on the train. This was a 9:30 p.m. train, and about 2 something in the morning, I was just like suddenly like, oh God, we're not moving. And I looked at my watch and I went, well, not my watch, on my phone, and I went, oh, I gotta go, and got off the train, and then took the subway home, and slept in my own bed, which is really great. I don't have any horror stories from PAX. My Airbnb was fine. It was not in a great neighborhood, but I was fine. And the room was fine. The desk side table was really low, and the chair was not. So I sat like that. I can't describe it, but like the desk was like only this much taller than the chair, and it wasn't great. I ended up just having my laptop in my lap, which I don't really do that often, so that was weird. It ended up being fine, but it was like kind of annoying after a long day to not be able to put my laptop down. All right, so there's our chest, which obviously needs work, and I'll do that off. We're going to move on to the head. There's some stickers we can put on here, and we will attempt to put those stickers on. Glad you're interested in anime and Gundam models. Have you ever thought about learning Japanese? No. From a very early age, it was clear that I have no talent for memorizing or learning a foreign language. I really wanted to learn Spanish. I had friends who spoke it together. Part of my friend crew were people that spoke Spanish to one another, and I really wanted to learn it, and I tried really hard, and I had no talent for it. So I have also I had friends who were studying it, and I knew it was fucking hard, and they were struggling with it. So I never tried to learn Japanese. I don't regret that in the long run, because I think it wouldn't have benefited me, but you know, it would be cool if I knew it. If I knew another language, that would be pretty rad. PAX Rumble was a lot of fun this year. The Dog Walker almost won it. Indeed, Lord Crashington, the Dog Walker almost fucking won, and that would have been pretty cool indeed. I've tried learning Spanish, French, Japanese, and programming languages, and no mistakes. Yeah, Durman, I think I've had the most success with learning like basic HTML. That's probably the only language I've sort of learned, and that's not, that's certainly not comparable to a programming language, but that's probably the closest I'll ever get. And yes, it would have been wild if Ian the dog had won, or the Dog Walker had won. Both would have been pretty great. I am happy for Rich. It's always a little tough when someone who doesn't go to every PAX wins something for us. Especially when you take into account like Omri Sullivan hasn't been to any PAX, since she won Southern Slam. Her job stuff changed and she's never been back to a PAX, so we've never had an opportunity to do anything with the fact that she won Southern Slam and theoretically a title shot. Grew up speaking English and Marathi at home. I hope I pronounced that right. Sorry if I didn't, Brown Lantern. Yeah, I mean, if you're growing up learning a language in the home, that's incredible. That's huge. If I had been doing that exists the possibility that I might have picked up on another language if it was being spoken to in the home, but it wasn't. Um, but yeah, thank you very much for watching the Rumble. Eric will start editing it at some point, and it'll be up on our YouTube. Uh, the main stage does a great job, so the Twitch looks good, but Eric was literally on the stage, so I think his version will look even better. He also knew where some of the action was going to take place. Obviously, not all the action because, he's not a mind reader, but pretty good idea of some of the action. So we're going to try to apply these stickers, but who knows? I can read music, and I learned the alto saxophone, and I have not played my saxophone in years, but could probably pick it back up. That is the only instrument I have any ability in. I don't really have a great amount of rhythm, but I have a pretty good math brain for stuff like that, so I do okay. So we are going to add a sticker for eyes. You can see that here in the overhead. We're going to attempt to do this, and if we fuck up, we fuck up. But I will attempt to do it right. Felix, the green belt. Oh, I love Felix, our green belt champion, who legitimately was like, oh, wait, I won. I have to come back. And they are being serious and also joking. Felix is a great champion, and I love that I now have to force them, quote unquote, to compete another time. Because they have to defend their belt. Baldridge, yes, Felix rules. They are one of my favorite people in the world. I met them at the very first PAX Rumble. Eric Pope told me I should sit with Felix and Samantha, that they were cool people that I should meet, and I did meet them, and immediately was like, yep, these are cool people. I was very happy that Eric made the introduction. Always been pleased to have them in my life. Samantha Zero. Yes, Samantha Kalman, aka Samantha Zero, is also very cool. Indeed. Jeff Green's stint was probably the best thing the league has ever seen, and I love that there are so many tributes to him. Yes, Lord. At first, it was just funny to reference him because he had such a big impact in the very beginning of the Rumble and our show. And it's also just like a legitimate, it is true. There's no work about it. It's a complete shoot. Jeff is a hero of mine, and being able to reference him is very fun. And it's also incredibly fun to do memorials for people and then be like, not dead, we just missed them. That is just fun content. It's just a fun thing to say, and it's very true. We do very much miss Jeff, and we hope that someday he'll go to a PAX. Those are the best kind of tributes. Yes, there are many people I follow because of the league. Well, Mr. Bob, that's the goal, right? Like I want you to check out people that have worked that show up and do the Rumble that you might not know. That's how I met a lot of people who I'm friends with. Some of my dearest friends came from, well, they knew Eric or they knew Aaron, or one of their mutuals was like, oh, you should have on this person. And I didn't know them. And now I could, consider them friends, or at the very least, they're just people that I want to know more about. That's hilarious, Joe Bugs. Yeah, you watch the Unmasking. But also, like, what was I going to say? Like, I want people to be like, I want to know more about Emmy Spicer. Emmy Spicer was the spicy onion. Emmy is an incredibly creative, wonderful person that I have come to know in the world of games and art. Through like many mutual friends, where suddenly it was like, oh yeah, we keep seeing each other at conventions in New York, and then we became friends, and she's fucking rad as hell. So I want people to check her out and like see the work that she's doing and the games that she's like working on. That's the hope anyway, right? Um, oh, and the Frisco Flame, Asmo, like literally, I had no idea who that was until like Friday. My friend Ian Hoot Tatum recommended because Frisco was working. He was working a table and had his gear, which is awesome. Uh, Harold, I also liked Harold. Harold was great. But yeah, no, I want people to go and check out the cool folks that we think are cool, right? Like maybe you've heard of Loading Ready Run. I mean, they're very popular, but you didn't know that that Graham and Adam have a wrestling podcast. It's a video podcast. Maybe you didn't know that, and now you can go check it out and see what they think. They're very reasonable when it comes to their love of wrestling and our great dudes. But yeah, I mean, like they're also big, so you probably know who they are. I'm probably not telling you anything you don't know, but maybe you don't know that. Uh, yes, Tom Dyke from Cars Against Humanity stopping to read snack during the match was a very fun gimmick that I did not know he was going to do, and I was very pleased. This is a very tiny sticker we're about to try to put on, and I think I will fuck it up, but I will try. Holy shit, this sticker is so small. Um, yeah, I thought it was great. Yes, also no one eliminated when he stopped playing, so he could snack, and that was very funny. Um, all right, this sticker is now stuck to another sticker, so I am skipping it. Fuck you, sticker. Burn in hell. It was just a sticker on the back of this kit. It's not necessary. You'd never see it ever, so I am not going to worry about that. As always, I only care so much about stickers. The eye stickers are usually ones that are important, but other stickers, not as important. 6. Fuck your sticker emotes when. Yeah. That's a pretty good emote, Baldrich. We do have another emote coming. It will be the new $5 or the tier 2 emote. I am going to ask, I'm going to double check in with my emote designer to be like, hey, when do you think? I don't want to put pressure on her, but I also want to get you all a new emote. Well, you'll get the Lego emote, and then the $10 or $5 or $10 tier will get something new. That's the idea anyway. So hopefully that'll come. So his tracksuit hanging the tracksuit, I saw he threw into the crowd. Well, Ashbrook, I mean, you can never tell with wrestlers what they're planning on doing. All I know is that apparently Dr. Tracksuit has been Inspector Tracksuit this whole time. He was undercover this whole time in this long-term sting operation on Johnny Casanova. We don't know when the sting started. We don't know if that was his original intention or if he was just undercover in the league just to see what was going on. Maybe it started during the Run GFB days. We don't know for sure. Maybe his original target was D. Leasy. We don't know. I love that when he was coming. Yes. So, yeah. As far as I can tell, the whole time that Dr. Tracksuit had memory loss and thought that he was Conrad, the dentist, Conrad Traxway, I think he was faking. I think he was faking this whole time. I think that was a front. We won't know for sure, but that's always going to be my thought, is that he was just, he really he pulled the wool over all our eyes. And by that I mean also everyone was in on it. And we all knew what was going on the whole time. Hello. Hello. Plenty of folks are just joining us sometimes for the first time, perhaps. Join if you're in chat for the first time. Hello and welcome. We are doing some model kit building. I will say the only thing that was disappointing to me about PAX, literally, the only thing that disappointed me was in the outro of my show, Improvised Postmortem, the Twitch stream did not show the slide where I promoted this stream. They did not include that, and I wish they had, because every other time I've done that, my follows have increased because people can see it and just do it right there. And I wish that that happened to the show. It's okay it didn't happen, but I wish that it had, because that would help me. You know, I want more people to watch, so. But if it's all hallucination, how do you have the official police show? No, Lashbrook, I think him pretending to be a dentist was another layer of deception. And he wasn't. He didn't have memory loss at the time. And then, Aaron Trites gave him that magic powder. And maybe it changed him, but I don't know. Maybe it didn't. Alright, so I'm trying to put on a very tiny sticker here on the back. And I will give up at some point because I am bad at sticker application. And it's hard to do this in front of an audience. Well, I'm happy to have you here. Mafik, thank you for joining me today. Thank you everybody that's joining me today. The new folks returning after break, folks that are here all the dang time. As I said, I haven't built anything since Tuesday because of PAX, and I missed it. I missed building. Going back to League of Heels, introducing us to others, I made a point of trying out Treachery in Beatdown City because of Sean Alexander. Oh, good. That game rules. Oh man, the merch for that. Sean really gets the aesthetic he's playing with so well. That all the merch that he had for sale at this show looked just so good. Yeah, and his game is very dope. Yeah, there's a bunch of people that I'm glad that folks are learning about because of us. It makes me happy. Like, a bunch of people have learned over the years how great Sean Baptiste is. Sean Baptiste, one of the best dudes, period. Let alone in games. He's just one of the best dudes. And so many people have gotten to learn that over the years, which is awesome. I've gotten to learn that as our friendship has steadily grown over time. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Sean is just an incredible person. Yeah, I was bummed that he unfortunately had to back out of the Rumble, but he's there for work. A lot of those folks are there, doing stuff. And he had to, and work called, and, he had to do it. He had to do his job, which we understand, and we wish, that folks, everyone that we love could do it every time, but we understand that that's not possible. Yes, Sean, indeed. Sean is one of the best people. Twitch is a weird thing, hard to get noticed. Indeed, Bald. And I don't even need to be huge. It's just that, if people were watching Improvised Postmortem because they were just watching what was on twitch.tv/PAX2, or they came in because they like, Laser, or they like Jeff, or they whatever, any reason. They like Abby a lot, and maybe they don't know what I do, and they liked it. I wish that, I had said it out loud, but I wish people had, an easy photo on the screen of, oh, that's this person. I could follow them on the internet if I wanted to. But that's okay. It's not the end of the world. We do have more viewers watching right now than I normally do on a Monday. It also helps that I'm at 9 p.m. again after that brief, terrible time where I was having to stream 10 p.m. till midnight Eastern. Monday at 10 p.m. is a tough sell for many people. Mr. Bob says, my favorite Sean moment is flipping off Cliffy B. My second is asking him to release his TV pilot on DVD while in the men's room at the Brattle. Luckily, your name was up there, and your Twitch is the same as your name. Indeed, dear man. Years and years ago, I was on a forum, and somebody, and I was using my real name, and somebody reported me to the admin. This was a BBS, because I'm old. I'm very old. It was a BBS, and someone reported me to the admin because I was using my real name. And I swore then and there that I would always use my real name because it pissed off a jerk person, that I would always be Pat Baer on the internet. It started out of spite. Also, hey, fuck you. Pat Baer's a great name. I got a good name, and I'm going to use that name on the internet. Jerk dude, who had some kind of screen name that I don't remember. So I think we all know who won. Me. But yeah, I mean, also, like, if my name wasn't like a fun name, then I maybe would use a screen name. But then also, like, hey y'all, I am 38 years old. Imagine me being a 38-year-old named Goofberg. What if my name was Goofberg and I turned 43 and I was like, hey, please follow me, twitch.tv/Goofberg. Like, what the fuck? No disrespect to the actual Goofberg that's out there. I'm sure there is a Goofberg, and I'm sure you've already tweeted at him telling him that I'm making fun of him. Because it's the internet. But yeah. You could pull off Goofberg. I mean, also, yes, you're right. Goofberg isn't bad, especially comparatively. Compared to, Lysipecia? Thank you very much for following. I really appreciate that. Goofberg is where Goofy lives. Indeed, he lives in Goofberg. It's Goldberg, but Goofy. A friend of mine had that screen name at some point, because that's why it's in my head. I think. I don't know. Anyway, we're still working on the head of this. But yeah. I know what you mean. I've been H-bombed since 1997. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Angry, mean, like, whatever. When the Xbox Live tweeted out something asking what your first gamer tag was, and E responded with something like, same as yours. Yes, indeed. Matt, thank you very much. I love PAX East. It is literally a show that changed my life. I would have continued to do fun stuff live in New York, and certainly I would have found a home on the internet for some of the things I do. But doing that convention, being exposed to really awesome, wonderful people, meeting such incredible folks, and getting opportunities to share myself with them has legitimately changed my life, and it means a lot to me that I get to keep doing cool stuff at that show and PAX West as well. But yeah, I had a good time this weekend. I'm very tired still. I had to switch to Bad Ridge because my old one was obnoxious. Oh, I don't want yeah, Bald Ridge. That's not a great username. It's tough, right? Like, also, people pick usernames and don't expect them to become like their Twitch handles for the rest of their life, right? Like, some people don't expect their online name on a message board to become their identity. Like, there are many people out there that think that Brad Lynch, who's a fantastic photographer and a moderator for Giant Bomb, they think his name is Marino because Marino is a name that people have. It's a first name and a last name. So people think that his name is Marino, and that's not his name. People know that Zombie Pie, that's not his name. But people think that Brad's last name is like Brad Marino. It's like, no. It was a 7. Oh, it was leaked. Yes, Bald, that is pretty leaked, put in numbers instead of letters. All right, we are done with the head. The head is complete. We have done everything we needed to do. We got a sticker on the front. We have a sticker on the back. You can't even see that sticker, but it's there. We are done with the head. As I said, off screen, I will fix this by taking it apart and reassembling it. I'm glad I never used my birth date in any of my usernames. Oh, yeah. I did not expect to want to try out WoW coming out of PAX, says Mr. Bob. Oh, yeah, weird. That is weird, Mr. Bob. So I will say my first username had my street address in it. It was a variation of my name because back in the day, there was a Pat Baer on AOL. So I couldn't be Pat Baer on AOL. I had to be another name. And that was very frustrating to me. And I had my like numbers of it, like my street address was in it at my childhood home. That's not a good look, and that's not a good idea. I wish I hadn't done that. And then eventually on other forms of media, social media, before they even called it that, I was able to get Pat Baer. And I am Pat Baer on everything except for Instagram, because I did not think Instagram was going to take off. And someone else has Pat Baer, so it's Pat Baer on Instagram. And I wish I had Pat Baer, and I don't. Okay, let's see here. Gonna head out, Brown Lantern. I'll look at the message you sent me later. Thank you very much for hanging out tonight. I felt I've been dragging my friends to PAX panels, but was pleasantly surprised when they wanted to try a panel they knew nothing about because you were on it. Well, Matt, that sounds awesome. Thanks so much. That's so nice to hear. I like to think that I do fun things at PAX, and people would go, I don't know anything about Let's Rank It, but Pat's on it, so we'll go to that. It's a good panel and fun. But also, like, yeah, I hope that I do things that are fun, and people know that they'll have a good time, even if they don't know what it's about or everyone involved. Durman says, I can't use my real name because it's so dang ununique that it'd be taken everywhere. Yep, that happens. You're not the first or the last person that has happened to. They just can't have a unique name. Or, because it's just, yeah, you just can't get your name. Need to watch the archive of Let's Rank It. Yeah, so it wasn't filmed, but hopefully Dave got an audio recording of it that worked. I don't know for sure. That's a Dave Lang thing. It was not a streaming room. It was not filmed, but hopefully there's an audio recording. He also did film his computer screen, but I don't know how that worked or if that worked because it's Dave Lang, and I respect him very much, but also it's a bad idea. He should just get someone to film the panel. I hope he does too, Chihuahua Pugs. I hope he does too. Oh, wow. Yeah, no, biking from LA from San Francisco, that sounds incredible. But yeah, I'm not in the shape to do that, let alone I have the time to do that, unfortunately, but I don't have the will or talent to do that. So that's not a thing I will do. I do like that Will Smith got his name on Twitter before the other Will Smith got it, and still gets bombarded with mentions because nobody knows the difference. Indeed. I was the second to last person, says Matt, to submit something to Let's Rank It, and the person behind me killed it with a single word. For those that weren't in the room, I won't talk about where it was ranked, but the single word was swords. And it was the second time that I was incredibly proud to be on that stage in that panel to rank swords. Yeah, it was an unbelievable, simple idea. Because sometimes people come up there and they pitch a concept or a story or like a theme, a circumstance. And other people are just like, I don't know, grilled cheese. And you're like, hell yeah, let's fucking talk about, or like nacho cheese. We talked about nacho cheese on there. And that's just as fun as like when you cut yourself cutting your toenails and you bleed a little bit, but you put a Band-Aid on it, and when you wake up, there isn't blood everywhere, which is a real thing that someone not suggested we fucking talk about. And we had to entertain that concept. God damn it. There are no bad people out there that like the things that I do, but I was definitely not interested in talking to this about that gentleman's problems. Because what the fuck? Get out of here with that shit. It's legit not bad in Oreos. No, thank you. Yeah, that's the real thing. I want to hear Felix talk about nacho cheese because Felix has a life lesson about nacho cheese. I have never had nachos and Oreos because I like nacho cheese and I like Oreos and I don't need them together. I don't need to ever find out if I like them or not as combined. I will never know what those are like together. And that is awesome. I love that I will never know. It's not good. They just don't mix. You try it. Yeah, also, of course you did. People tried it, and that's fine. I respect that. You shouldn't have. Yeah, I mean, Harold, have a great night. Thanks for joining us. I know it's late for you. I appreciate you being here. I'll talk to you soon. Lord Cratchington, I agree with you. I also felt very bad for people that had to try that. You know what you like, right? Don't hurt anyone while you like it. If that's a treat that you enjoy, if you consider it a treat and not a punishment, great. Go nuts with it. I just can't. And I don't need to. That's also awesome. Also, it's awesome that I will never have to do that. Because I don't think there exists a world in which I'm going to have to eat that. So, great. Yes, Harold was in the Rumble. We're very happy to have him there. He did great. Some real cool people. I hope that folks will check them out. Phoenix Flame. Frisco Flame. I say Phoenix Flame sometimes, and I apologize. That's not his name. He is the Frisco Flame. We sold a bunch of his pins. I got one for free. I got a video up tomorrow. Tomorrow I will post it. It's up for my Patreon. But tomorrow I've got a video of my very meager haul from PAX East because I barely left my booth. I bought 2 things and got 1 thing for free. The thing for free I got at my booth, the 2 things I bought were also in Bandland. I didn't wait in line for anything. I didn't play a single video game. PAX is weird when you're working it. Now I have worked 4 PAXs as just a guy who's at a booth the whole dang time, if not to be on panels, and it's a lot. And I'm not mad about it at all. It's awesome. But it also means that show I don't get to do things that other people could do that are there, which is understandable and reasonable. All right, so we did 2 of these because these are the same either way. Now we got to get into we're going to build some of the right arm here. So now we're getting into pieces that are specific and not universal to both arms. But once we build one arm, the other arm's just going to build itself. It's not going to be a big deal. It's going to be nice and easy. I am still stoked about the US-based EDF. Yes, Mr. Bob, you talked about that. Bald Ridge, have a great night. Thanks for hanging out. Wait, was there a ball pit? Did I miss a ball pit? God damn it. I missed a ball pit. I'm a big man. I shouldn't be getting in ball pits. I know I shouldn't be getting in ball pits. But I didn't know there was a ball pit. That sounds real cool. Classes they introduced in the last game no longer have weapon limitations. Well, that sounds awesome. Yeah, it sounds like folks that enjoy those games are pleased with it. Mr. Bobby, you're not the only person that was talking up that game, which is awesome. That's awesome. I'm really happy about that. I've had some fun with those. Did any Twitch build fans stop by the booth? Indeed, Chihuahua Pugs. Well, of course, Mr. Bob. Not the first time to come say hi. Harold as well. A few folks that didn't tell me their usernames, so I don't know. If anyone did, I did get a few people to say "Oh, I'm here in the Bear Cave," and that's usually in reference to League of Heels and not necessarily the stream. But I did have a few folks that said that they watch, which is awesome. And I did have at least one person who said that they were a lurker, which is also totally fine. Obviously, there's 24 folks right now watching, which is great. And not everyone's chatting, which is fine. I understand that. That's totally cool. Also, the people that have someone renewed a subscription and didn't click the button, so we can't say, hey, thank you. But also, hey. Thank you. Um, it does mean a lot that folks support me here. Um, hey, Urban Buddha, happy to have you here. Welcome to the stream. Um, as always, and folks, my voice is. I do apologize that I every PAX I lose my voice. This one was not as brutal because it didn't happen until really Saturday. Oh, Aristophan just subscribed with Twitch Prime. That's 7 months. Thank you so much for renewing that. Urban Buddha says I missed you at PAX. I mean, the nice thing is now that if people want to find me, they know where to find me generally. They just come to Bandland. There are people that go in through other entrances. Obviously, exhibitors often don't go in through the front. But yeah, and I did duck out for like probably 15 minutes. Thanks for the streaming. Well, thank you for subscribing. I really do appreciate it. So Aristophan is using their Twitch Prime sub because they have Amazon Prime linked to their Twitch account. And then they get a free sub that they can use, and they have to renew it manually. You can't auto-renew with that like you can with another subscription. But they use that, and I appreciate that. It, to me, and my account is treated like you're using $5 American. So it's just the same, and that's awesome. And I very much appreciate it when folks can support me on here. All the money I make, bits and coins and Twitch subs and Patreon supporters, all goes into buying kits. I keep track of everything and make sure that I am purchasing things to build them on stream. I have a kit that I bought that came in the mail while I was at PAX, and it is Vegeta in the space pod, and I am very excited to build that at some point. I have been wanting to build Vegeta and his space pod. I helped Dan Reichert assemble the space pod in a Giant Bomb stream, and we, unfortunately, either for packaging or some other limitation, Vegeta was not in it, so we only built the space pod, and I've always wanted to complete the set, and then offer Dan Vegeta if he wants it. Sounds Mondo cool. Hell yeah, it is. It is Mondo cool. You're not wrong. But that'll be built in the future. Also, that Lego pizza van that I was going to build if I could stream at my Airbnb, which I could not, I'm going to build that at some point. And my $10 Patreon supporters will be able to vote on what I built. Because that is a cool thing that I can offer. But yeah, so obviously this is going to take some time. We're going to work on this. And then I always like to put votes up. VTJ Man just subscribed. That is a 2-month streak, 6 months total. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. Think Geek stores are selling little Frieza shipped toys with mini characters with it, and it's really tempting. Ooh, German. That sounds pretty good. Yeah, hey, let's throw the Bear Cave emote in there. If you're a subscriber, throw the Bear Cave emote for Istafan and for the fantastic VTJ Man. Thank you for subscribing. Always appreciate it. Always nice. I did have someone at PAX who did say, "Hey, I watch the YouTube archives because I can never see you live." And shout out to those that are watching this right now on YouTube. You're watching it after the fact, but you mean a lot as well because I can also monetize on YouTube again, which is good. Pardon me. Sorry. Yeah, my voice feels is a little strained right now. I'm getting over it going out pretty much completely yesterday. I could still talk, but it was a strain. So I tried not to talk at all today, and I succeeded. I talked to one person very briefly when I had to buy groceries because I was gone for almost a week. So I did have to go and pick up new food so I could eat. And I had to talk to somebody about, I don't know. I think just the cashier, easy, no stress on that, but still had to be like, I need these things. Congrats on getting your YouTube dollars back, and thank you, Mr. Bob. I appreciate that. Yeah. So part of it is that I am not monetizing a lot of my channel is like my Twitch archives. So what I'm doing is I am not checking those off as wanting to monetize them. And that I've been told will actually help me out. So original things like background and characters and things like H6. I need H6. So background and characters is fine, and like Improvised Postmortem is I've monetized stuff like that. But then like my Twitch archives, I'm not going to monetize those, and this should be okay. Durman is sent an image here. Oh, that is tempting. Only figure included is Frieza. Frieza is exclusive to this diorama set. Other figures sold separately. So you only get tiny little Frieza, and then you can buy the other ones separately. I mean, that's a pretty cool diorama. But I think I'm good. I do like the idea of owning Frieza's ship, but it's cool looking. But I think I'm okay with not getting it. But yeah, so I can be monetized on YouTube again, which is nice. I will put a link to last Wednesday's background and characters, which turned out really solid. I think it turned out to be pretty dang good. So I would encourage folks to check that out when I post a link, which will be in a minute or two, because we are about an hour. We are an hour into the stream now, so it's almost time for our break. The break, where folks go, oh yeah, I can go to bed now. That sounds alright. It is important for me to tell people about links to things and how they can support me on these streams. But let me finish a little bit of this part here before we get into that. Go there, that goes there. This goes like this. Links to things, the past, for instance. Indeed, links to the past. I'd probably rather have the time machine. Yes, Lord Crashington, someday I'd like to build a time machine, but it is a big kit. I look at it at conventions and think, no thanks. Mr. Pub says I should not know that exists. Yeah, that is me in a lot of situations when it comes to model kits, where I'm like, oh no, don't tell me that. Don't tell me about this big thing. Don't tell me about this aftermarket thing that I can't afford, that it's incredibly priced and looks so rad, and I can't get that. Don't tell me about that shit. That's rude. Alright, so let's put this on here. So this goes like this. Yeah. Alright, and then there's also this piece here. Yeah, I can't tell if that's a kit or if it's just the diorama means that you just like it comes as the ship, or do you build the ship? It's a pre-made toy. Okay, Durman, yeah. It's a very cool looking toy, but yeah, if you can't build it, then yeah. That is a thing that I might want to own, but certainly doesn't make any sense for the stream, which is why it won't end up on my wish list. Because I have a couple things on my wish list that aren't actually things. Folks have purchased my many things for me, including the chair I'm currently sitting on and the table I'm building on. But those are work-related, build-related. I wouldn't be like, hey, buy this thing that I just want to own. I mean, I could do that, but I don't want to do that. All right, so let's take a momentary break. Hello. Welcome to the Build with Baer workshop. If you're just joining us, or if you've been here for the whole hour, I'm building model kits. I'm talking to you. And I'm letting you know about, I'm putting some links in the chat, and you can check out those links, and you can decide for yourself if you want to follow them. First, speaking of follow, if you're not currently following, if you just check out the, when I stream and I put the link out on Twitch and you follow that along, consider giving me a follow. Turn your notifications on so you know when I go live. If you can, use your Twitch coin or actual money and support me here on Twitch that would be rad. I really do appreciate that very much. You could use your bits and coins, or cheers. Those are very important and helpful. They get my payout just a little sooner. Humbao just subscribed. Thank you very much, Humbao. That's a tier 1. That's 3 months streak. Thank you so much for that, Humbao. I really do appreciate it. That's awesome. Thank you for that. I also have a Patreon. Patreon.com/PatBaer. I did have someone who was giving me a bit of money drop. I am down. I am not down so low that I can't. Oh, yeah, throw the Bear Cave emote there for Humbao. I am still over the threshold, over $150, so I am streaming 3 times a week, doing 3 build streams a week. I'm trying to hit $200 a month. That would be very helpful. Consider it Patreon if that's something you'd like to do. You don't have to. My cut is better on Patreon, but it's fine. At $200, I would be doing a 4th stream a week. Every week I would do something that's not building. It could be playing video games. It could be playing games with you. It could be a hangout stream. It could be something else. It could be like, I don't know, like a tour of something. But I would do another stream a week. And I would also get a P.O. box, which people have asked about. And I would like to. But P.O. boxes cost a stupid amount of money, in my opinion. But whatever. So that's one way to support me, and there's different levels and tiers. I have an Amazon wish list. I am putting that Amazon wish list in the stream, and then I'm going to talk about it. Patreon is still having payment processing issues. I know. Irbina, I do know that. So it's possible that somebody is who was trying to pay me out. It just like something happened with their bank. So I'm going to send a message out in a couple days to people. But I don't know. Here's my Amazon wish list. I'm now going to also look at it and tell you about a couple things on there. And now, here's the thing about it. If you buy something on the wish list, it will skip the line, and I will build it before I build anything in my backlog. So if you really want to see me build something on the stream, you can buy it, and I'll do it. I've got the Build Divers GN, which is the Altron Gundam. It's like a variation of that. It has like cats and dog shoulders. It's very cool. Or a wolf, not a dog. I don't remember. The Ultra Instinct Goku. I'd love to build that. Some Star Wars Lego. Some various awesome looking kits. Lots of cool stuff that I would love to build. Some papercraft that's in there. That would be cool. I've never done papercraft on stream before. That'd be fun. All kinds of Gundams. And at the bottom, I've got an Elgato. I don't need that. I just put it in there, because why not? Maybe someone doesn't want to buy a model kit, but wants me to have something really cool for streams. I don't know. And then also have a coffee. You can just do a one-time donation. And any money you make through that, we got a raid going in. Fenrisk just raiding with a party of 3. We're taking a momentary break, and we're going to get back to building in a moment. Thanks for joining us and coming in on a raid. Raids are always appreciated. But that's my coffee address. You can go to that. Hello. I am right now just sharing with the chat a few links of things that's going on with me they should check out. Here is the link to the improvised postmortem. That's what I did at PAX East this PAX weekend with Dave Lang, Laser Weber from the Double Clicks, Abby Russell, Jeff Gersman from Giant Bomb, Casey Malone, and that was an awesome panel, so I hope people will check out the archive of that. Several people have, so please watch that. It's really funny. I think it was great. And also, last but not least, Background and Characters is an awesome video series I do. I think it's great. I improvise in front of a green screen based on a random image. You can check that out here. That's the link to the most recent one. And then also I have a Discord. Everyone is welcome to join the Build with Bear community in my Discord. Post photos of stuff you do. You can also send me stuff. If you're working on something on Twitter, send me a link. I would love to retweet you. And now I will drink some water, and then we will build more. And I'm going to talk about some anime. So, the shows that come... Oh, wow. I got real fuzzy there from drinking some water. That was weird. I got real fuzzy. So, anime talk. Second half of the stream is usually anime talk. while I build, I will tell you. So, the real fact of the matter is, because I had a bunch of days where I didn't talk about anime, I won't talk about the stuff that usually I talk about on Thursday. So even though the last episode of My Roommate is a Cat already happened, I actually haven't seen it yet. I won't. So I will talk about that on Thursday. I'll talk about Black Clover on Thursday. I'll talk about Rise of the Shield Hero on Thursday and talk about like the 2 episodes that happened while I was doing this or while I was at PAX. So I will talk about the things I normally talk about on Monday. There was no that time I got reincarnated as a slime. They said there were 25 episodes, but apparently the 25th episode is episode, they number it 25, 24.5 I should say. So they label it 24.5, but I guess it's the 25th episode, or there's another 25th episode. I don't know what the fuck's happening. All I know is no episode of that time I got reincarnated as slime. So I don't have to talk about that. Yeah, well, 24.5 was the recap episode from last week, but they said there were 25 episodes, so why not name it 25? Don't do what it just confused me, and I don't understand what they mean. And now I'm like, well, is there a 25th episode, or are there 24.5 episodes? What's up? And they took a week off? I don't know what's happening. I'm going to keep checking. I don't know. My current Gundam build is going to have paint based on Raftalia, which is a character from Shield Hero. That's the... yeah, that's interesting. Thank you for the follow, Fen. But it was done in an interesting way, I guess. Usually recaps are kind of lame. No, I was happy because that recap had Veldora, the dragon. And that dragon, the Tsundere dragon, rules. That dragon is awesome. So I am never unhappy about that dragon making an appearance. And I love the idea of when we last saw the flame imp spirit, it looked like he was going to have to battle Feldora, but Feldora really just wanted to hang out. And I like that a lot. That Feldora was like, oh, now you're in for it. Play me in this game, and we'll talk about what's going on. Well, Irabina, I mean, you say the ending on a recap episode is a real, feel very secure in getting a second season. Well, in fact, they do have a second season. The real honest thing is, the show shouldn't have been that many episodes. They ordered too many episodes, and the story fucking wrapped up. Season 1 wrapped up, and then they did like what really felt like a side plot that was good, but felt like the beginning of season 2 and not the end of season 1. And maybe they should have just been like 18 episodes or something. I don't know. But it should not have been as many episodes as we got. 24.5 is too many episodes of that show. I like it a lot, but it did feel like it overstayed its welcome. But we'll talk about Shield Hero on Thursday, because I do have thoughts about that episode and what will be the next episode. I do have thoughts about that show. The next thing we'll talk about is, okay, so One Piece. Most of this past episode of One Piece was just a very long flashback. It was an incredibly long flashback, but it was Shanks, and Shanks rules, and it was cool. And we haven't seen Shanks in a long time, so it was fun to acknowledge that Shanks is out there. And maybe we will see more of Shanks soon. I have not read the manga. I do not know. But it felt like half an episode and was kind of a bummer. Yes, it was the Final Fantasy VII. Yeah, it was mostly like a recap of like a character that's very important to the show. I mean, they're the Straw Hat Pirates because Luffy wears Shanks' straw hat. He's incredibly important to the story. And not like retroactively important to the story. He's legitimately incredibly important to the story and has been the whole time. That's how we learned about Emperor's Hockey. Conqueror's Hockey, I guess, was Shanks. And his ability to make a Sea King get the fuck out of there by just staring at him and telling him to beat it. And that thing did. It was a fun episode. There's a reveal. Also, that episode does have one of the most hated characters in One Piece in it. And it makes me laugh because I don't hate her at all. The mermaid princess was in it. And I know a lot of fans just hate her. And I don't hate her at all. So that, to me, was fine. I was like, oh, that's okay. I don't mind her. Alright, so we go there. Sea King, the Pokemon. No, not Sea King, the Pokemon, Durman. You know that's not what I was talking about. So that was fine. Look, let's get into the real shit, okay? Here's the real shit. Today is April Fool's, right? And don't enjoy it. But if you do, that's fine. Pop Team Epic. We knew that Pop Team Epic was going to have a special. But here's the thing about the Pop Team Epic special and why I'm so psyched about it. One, the opening song is set as if it is a Gundam anime, and is fucking incredible. Even if you don't like the show at all, just watch the opening song for this special because it's unfucking believable and done so well, and clearly comes from such a place of love of that kind of show that it's totally worth watching. Also, there's 4 versions of it because all of the gags are, not all of it, but a lot of the gags, they do like alternate jokes. So it's the same animation, they just changed the voiceovers of some of them and added like alternate jokes to it, which is just very cool and weird. And I was like, I'm totally enamored with that idea. I think that's so cool. And I was just so, like, pleased with that special. I've only watched 2 of the 4. But there's like differences between the different versions. And like I said, that intro, holy shit. And it's also like 40-something minutes. So the fact that I got to squeeze in the second one, I'm happy about. But I'll probably have more to say about it before Thursday. But yeah, it's available on just about everything, I think. Like, I watched it on Crunchyroll, and I think it's on lots of platforms, which is very cool. Let's see. And then the last thing we'll talk about. No spoilers. I'm not a spoiler person. I will talk about things and moments sometimes. But certainly the day it came out, I will not spoil. I will just say, some people may disagree with me. They might not like the ending of it. They might not like the end of the battle. But this episode 13 of Mob Psycho Season 2 is what I wanted. It was so goddamn good. And so, like, true to the story that Season 2 was telling. And just lovely. Just lovely. It was just a lovely end to the show. And, like, I don't know. I think that, like, especially the after. He knocked it out of the goddamn park, says Arabina. He did. I'm so proud of Mob. He's just grown so much over that season. And Season 2 Mob is so different from where he was anywhere in Season 1. He's just grown so much as a person. And did such a good fucking job. And you know what? It's so awesome to be able to walk in, to go from watching Mob Psycho directly into One Punch Man. Like, the seasons are just feeding into one another. And I'm so psyched about that. But yeah, Mob Psycho ends so well, Season 2 ends so well, and I'm so proud of Mob. He's such a good boy. He's a best boy right there. He just tries so hard. And the animation, woo! That was some good fucking animation in that episode. I highly recommend. I know there are probably some people that like didn't like the outcome, that wanted to see like the thing that they kind of were hinting at possibly happening. But I was very pleased with where it ended up. So I'm not And I'm not one of those people that was unhappy with the outcome, but I bet there were people that were. And that's, that's everything, right? Not just this show. Um, but yeah, I highly recommend that episode, the whole season. 13 episodes. Um, I think the show is great. I'm a huge fan of it, and I'm sad to see it go. There's a bunch of shows ending, and I don't know quite what I'm going to watch on the new shows. I've got some ideas of what I'd like to see, but I haven't really kept up. I mean, I'm going to keep watching Black Clover. It's getting interesting. I said I'll talk about that on Thursday, but last week's episode was cool, and I'm excited for more of it. Also, last week's episode was fucking weird as shit. Because, like, a bunch of guys from another show showed up, and that doesn't make any sense. I don't know what the fuck's happening. I talked about that on Tuesday. I did talk about, that's right, last Tuesday I did talk about Black Clover and how there was a weird fucking cameo in it. So I have talked about that. Okay. That was fucking weird as shit. But yeah, I think I'm going to try to get caught up on Fairy Tail because I am behind on Fairy Tail, and I would like to get caught up in that, back up with that show. So I think that as the shows I've been watching end, like, I don't have, a bunch of shows are now hitting their end, including Mob Psycho, and The Time I Got Reincarnated Slime will be back next year. What other shows have ended? We are now done with My Roommate is a Cat has wrapped up. So that's over. Yeah, a bunch of shows that I watch. Rising of the Shield Hero is a double season order, so it will continue on for a while. So that's not over. But like a lot of stuff that I watch is ending, which is a weird time. But that's a time to go back and watch the things that I haven't been keeping track of. Like I said, Fairy Tail is a thing that I would like to get caught up on. I'm now like a few episodes behind on Boruto, and I wouldn't mind getting caught up with that. It's not like a super priority of anything. And I said I haven't watched the last episode of My Room Is a Cat that came out last week, but I do want to see that because I thought it might end. It might end sad, and I just was not in the mindset coming back from PAX at the end of the day and then going to sleep or whatever. I was like, oh, I don't want to feel bad if this ends sad. The current arc of Boruto is only just now picking up. Yeah, but also like Fen, like the filler, like father and sons, like carnival shit. Like as a person that's been watching that show forever, and Naruto, I like that stuff too. Now it's picking up and we're getting storyline, and that's cool. But also like, I don't know. I like seeing the kids. I watch their parents grow up in a weird way. So, like, I do enjoy that kind of storytelling stuff. That is fun for me. To be like, oh, yeah. Oh, that's what this person's doing? Oh, great. Oh, cool. Oh, she owns a weapons shop. That's kind of neat and outdated and weird. Oh, fun. Like stuff like that, I do enjoy. All right, so, did I miss something when I had to make these? No, that goes in like, okay, so this goes in like this. All right, maybe I did it wrong on here. Okay, so we can put that on there. Then we can put this on like that. It's still a filler arc. Yeah, okay. Speaking of anime, I just really started reading the Dragon Ball manga. Oh, Durman. So, a lot of the dirty jokes do not hold up with the manga and the anime. They are of a time. They were not great then. They are not all great now. That is just a thing that is an unfortunate fact about the series, that there are just some jokes in it that are not fucking cool. But for the most part, Dragon Ball is a really fun series that I hold in high esteem as a really fun adventure show that eventually just got bogged down with its need to be a fighting anime. But I do really love it. I'm glad you're watching. Alright, so what am I doing wrong here? So this goes on this side. And then this goes this. Okay. So that goes in like that. And then this side has to go into XA13 and XA15 is right. Okay. That's 15 and this is 13. Sorry about this, folks. I'm just figuring out what I'm doing here. Occasionally, I think I know what I'm doing and I don't, which is fun. Isn't that fun? When you're like, I think this is right, or I hope this is right. So you just gotta go with it. Gotta trust your gut and say, I am doing this correctly. Let's see what happens. Okay. You're right, it's not the best. Most of the stuff is like 13, 16-year-old boys would be into. Exactly, yeah. That said, Goku just stranded on a... Yes! That rabbit got sent to the goddamn moon. And then that rabbit died when the moon got exploded. Because that rabbit was definitely still on the moon. And Toriyama has said that he forgot about it, which is great. Toriyama has forgotten about a few things, including lunch. He just forgot that lunch existed, which is why lunch is not in Super. Because Toriyama forgot that he had created a character, which is bad. It's bad that he forgot about lunch, because she's great. Alright, let's see if I can... Alright. That's together. It's loose. I don't know why this is so loose. I'm going to try to see if I can figure out why I'm doing this, why this is going weird. But it is loose in a way that it should not be. That rabbit was leaving behind some wiki research. They're just not on the moon? Okay, well, that's good to know, Mr. Bob. Piccolo is a monster. Oh, yeah. Dragon Ball's comedic fights are the best. Yes, Lord Crashington, the many fights that are solved in that show are they're very entertaining. The way that problems are solved in Dragon Ball. All right, so we got this done. I figured out what I did wrong, so now I can move on. Working on the arm here. I need D now. I've been watching some OG Dragon Ball again, watched as a kid, but my memory of it is pretty spotty. The anime legit has great comedic slapstick timing. Indeed, Space Jordan, you're not wrong at all. There's a lot of stuff in there that I'd forgotten about, like when Goku fights the devil. He fights a devil man. He fights a devil man and a vampire, and all of it is nonsense. And like, it's all nonsense. It's just increasing amounts of nonsense. And it's a thing where, like, we understand that Goku is incredibly strong. And no human man or woman or non-binary folk in that show is ever wrong for thinking that this little kid is in way over his head. Especially the people and animals that have fucking guns. Any character that has a gun is totally justified in thinking they are about to shoot a kid and everything is going to work out great for them. I have a tank. That kid has a staff. This is going to go great for me. They're all right in thinking that. And as a kid, I was always like, why are they fucking with Goku? That's stupid. But now as an adult, I understand. Well, he's just a goddamn kid. Vampire getting drunk off of Krillin's blood was pretty good. Yes, I do remember that. That was very fun. Also, I'm pretty sure that Goku, the biggest secret in Dragon Ball, the biggest secret in all of Dragon Ball for all of the years, is that Goku never found out that he's the one that murdered his grandpa. Like, no one has ever told him that he looked at the moon and destroyed his house and crushed his grandpa to death. Like, he doesn't know that happened. And that's kind of incredible. It's the longest running, like, actual thing in Dragon Ball, of all Dragon Ball, that no one ever told him. And he even eventually finds out that that stuff happens. He just doesn't know. Yes, Bulma does shoot. Yes, he does shoot. Bulma does shoot Goku, like, immediately. But also, yeah, she should. She's scared of him. It does come out of left field, and it is played 100% for laughs. And why wouldn't it? It's very good. It's all very good. I do miss that show, because when it's really running hot, that manga and anime are both so good. I'm having some issues getting this piece on here as part of the arm. It should slide all the way down. This should just slide on. It's not. I don't know why. I'm going to try to kind of pull these pieces together here without breaking them. Just kind of tighten everything together. That could be why this isn't working. But yeah, this should slide right on and go right to where the arm piece is. There. And it's not. And then I will try it the other way to see if I fucked up. Okay. So I did fuck up. Now how do I fix that fuck up? Okay. I'll take this off. Alright, I fixed my fuck up. Hooray. I did like finding out that Goku doesn't know what kissing is. Vegeta can't handle the notion that he has two kids but has never kissed his wife. Yes, that is very funny that Goku knows what mating is, apparently, but has never kissed Chi-Chi. Or, he like, what the fuck? Vegeta has some incredible comedic reactions in Super. There is a moment in Super where they tie back to fucking Dr. Slump shit, and then like Vegeta acknowledges that he has to fight a cartoon character, basically, that she exists in a world of gags, that he's basically fighting a gag manga, and the realization that he has that that's how he has to fight this person is unbelievable and so good. Alright, I think this is going to be a little hard to connect, and I think we're going to let it live and be okay with that. How else am I supposed to get this on here? Alright. That's good enough. That'll be okay. Oh yeah, because it's... I'm just fucking this up. I really am just like, yeah. This is on backwards. Alright, that's on backwards. But that's not on backwards. I'm having some real weird troubles with this kit. Like weird, just, yeah. Some weirdness. I don't know. This assembly has been odd with this particular set. Very strange. Problems I don't remember having with any version of this kit before. We'll see if I can get this to work out right. But yeah, I apologize that I've been having some trouble with this. making this all work. There was a Mr. Satan action figure at my store today, and that was almost mine before I came to my senses. Yeah, I mean, I would build a model kit. I don't think it's not the model kit, right? It's not the figurize. It's just the action figure, right? Yeah. I have definitely contemplated that. Certainly, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't be against owning a Mr. Satan, but we'll see. Hercule, as they say. A cube comes with a few heads and one has big bug eyes. Oh, I like that. I do like that. I don't have room in my life for action figures, unfortunately. I have to live in the now of just buying model kits and being happy with the model kits I have, which I am. Consistently very pleased with what I have. But there is a part of me that looks at those kind of things and goes, oh, what if I really just had a bunch of action figures? Wouldn't that be really cool if I had action figures? Alright, we got this together. It bends the way it's supposed to. I think I did things right. Nope. Is that not right? I gotta look at this. Oh yeah, so it's gotta bend like this. So this is wrong. I really am out of my head tonight. I apologize for this, folks. I will endeavor to not be this completely and utterly wrong on Thursday. But yeah, let's disassemble. We are going to go back in time here. We are going to go back to 3.2 on a previous page. We are going to connect these pieces properly because we did not. So this goes like this on here. This piece goes like this. That connects like that. Okay. And now we're going to make sure that we did it right on the other one. Tiny hole on this side. Piece on that side. So it bends like that. Connect the two. Looks good. Okay. Alright. That looks okay. Now, okay, this goes like this. I am just slowly trying to process this, making sure that I assemble everything accurately as best I can, because as I said, I did run into an issue there. I want to make sure that I do this right so the arms move properly. You got rusty, can't take breaks from model kitting. Indeed, Durman. I mean, this break has made me feel pretty rusty. I'm also still very fucking tired. As you might imagine, I got some sleep, but I am behind on my hours of sleep because of PAX, and I'm looking forward to getting some of that back. Okay, so this goes in like... What's the thing? That can't go like that. It's like that. And this goes like... Alright. I guess the manga was localized before Kai brought back the Satan name. Indeed, yes. Yeah. Talking about Hercule in... You don't mess with perfection. That's a fair point. I need to head out a little early, but super glad to hear about your time at PAX Pat and hope you get some rest this week. Thank you, Asmo. Yeah, I'm taking it easy this week. I'm going to try to, like I said, I'm going to try to get my voice back because I am, trying to like rest that up and get that back to where it should be. And overall, thank you for hanging out there. We're going to keep going another 15 minutes or so. I'm going to try to fix all the dumbness of this that I've been having here. I think I got everything assembled correctly this time. We'll see. At least the one way it's bending. I'm working on clearing off my desk for two reasons. One, it's a huge mess. Two, my next Lego stream is a doozy. I've got a Parisian restaurant set. It's massive. Ooh, that sounds awesome. I'm glad I got to see the stadium full of people in DBZ Kai chanting for Satan thanks to All Systems Goku. Yes. Uh, that is very fun. All right, so this should just work. It isn't. Will it work on this way? It will. Why does it? It's not when I. It's not right. It doesn't seem like it should be right. This doesn't seem like it. Sorry, folks. I do apologize for this. I am attempting to follow the instructions properly, and I am running into some weirdness. But hopefully it'll all work out here. This has to be like this. So this has to be reversed. But it doesn't want to be reversed like that, I don't think. Alright, okay. Alright. I've built variations of this kit so often, or this part of the kit anyway. I'm actually really surprised I ran into trouble. But I think I got it. I think I fixed it. Nope, okay. Nope, what the fuck? Maybe this one's the wrong piece. D1 23. So this bends like this. That's how it should bend. And this piece should go on like this. And it just doesn't fucking want to. I don't know why. And it's making me mad. I'm going to try a D24. See if that'll work. I do hope Jeff and Dan continue also Goku with OG show because they like the comedic stuff in DBZ a lot, and it has a better better pace like Kai. Yeah, I don't know. My assumption, Lord Crashington, is that they're gonna I don't know anything about any choices they're making, but I would put money on them doing going to Super because it's the modern one, and I think that would appeal to them, and they would just want to do that show. I don't know for sure. Like I said, I don't know anything, but that's my guess is they would go to the modern show and watch the modern one. Uh, I don't necessarily agree that that's the way they should go, but I'll respect their choices that they make. All right, so this just is wrong. So this is gotta go like this, and this is gotta go like this, because that's how it should go. Because it's an arm, so it should bend like that. This is how the arm should bend. And then this should just slide on properly. Fuck it doesn't. I don't know what's going on here, but that's apparently what it's looking like. And then, yeah, that's backwards. All right, let me keep. Sorry about that, everybody. I can see that though the dub isn't done right. I think it's behind, right? I don't know for sure. I know they've done some of the dub. I don't know if they've done all the dub, and I know the dub is important to them. Sorry I zoned out there, folks. I'm literally like just now getting to the point where I'm like, what am I fucking doing wrong here? What's wrong with this? Why is this the way it is? So this is going to be at least be right. This is pretty accurate. This looks right. This slides in like this. So that's right. Turn this around. That's wrong. God damn it. Okay. That's right. Then that's wrong. Nope. God damn it. I don't know. I think they're the Tournament of Power now. Well, Lastbrook, yeah. I mean, it's going to take a while before they get there, so they will get there at some point. I'm sorry, folks, that I am so scatterbrained at the moment as I attempt to get this to work. I will continue to make attempts to make this a thing that that works, and I don't know why it's not. That should just slide right on like that, and it is not. And that is bad. And then that works. But that is backwards. So what am I doing wrong? Nope, and that's wrong too. All right. Okay. So I'm going to pull out a few pieces here. We are going to wrap up in a moment. I am going to just take out these pieces that I'm going to use, and then I'm going to fix this shit on my own, off stream, because watching me do this is not great. And so I'm going to figure this shit out, and then I will come back to it another time. On Thursday, you will see a lot of this done, and you'll go, oh, Pat, you did all this stuff and you fixed it all. I'll talk to y'all for a few minutes, so I'm giving you the 2 hours. But yeah, I know I am not solving this problem right now because I'm staring at it and just making the same mistake over and over again, and that's not good. But yeah, I'm just getting back. I'm still out of sorts from PAX. PAX was very fun. As I said, I'm working. I did a vlog. It'll be one long video. I'm working on that now. I'm editing that together. Tomorrow, I'm going to take another pass at it. But yeah, we are going to call the stream there because I just know that I'm not good right now. Board Ming just subscribed. That's 15 months in a row. Thank you so much, Board. Really appreciate it. But yeah, I'll be back on Thursday at 9 p.m. Thanks to everybody that watched. Thanks for new folks for checking it out. Sorry that it's been disjointed today. But I am just, yeah, I'm a little out of sorts as I come back from PAX, and I just don't know what else I need to do to get this where it needs to be, but I will work on it and figure it out. We got some of it done though, so I'm happy about that. And then I just have to, before we start my Thursday stream, I will have this problem solved with the arms. Get some rest, says Fan. Thank you very much. Good night, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. Tell a friend, like a YouTube video, and I don't know, have a good week. I'm so out of it. Bye-bye.